A silent crisis is unfolding quietly in the lives of India's top earners. People with luxury apartments, international travel plans, and post tax annual incomes of 20 lakh rupees or more. A recent survey by Marcellus Investment Managers, conducted in collaboration with Dun and Bradstreet, captures the story in numbers, and the picture it paints is both revealing and urgent. They survey 465 respondents from metro, tier 1 and tier 2 cities, all aged over 30, all with at least 50 lakh rupees in financial assets or household incomes in the range of 20 to 50 lakh rupees. These are not struggling households. These are professionals in banking, tech, consulting, business people who have cracked the income problem. And yet, most are still grappling with the basics of saving, planning, and investing. The biggest red flag is the savings rate. 43% of respondents save less than 20% of their post tax income. Among those in their 30s and early 40s, the critical wealth accumulation years, half are stuck in this low saving band. These are the years when compounding should be working overtime, yet most are squandering the opportunity. The culprit? High fixed expenses, a lifestyle stretched to the limit, and EMIs that eat into every raise. Debt is another weight dragging them down. 39% of the respondents, that is 4 in 10, have at least one open loan. Among the 30 to 45 age group, the number climbs to 50%. A typical respondent has two home loans, a car loan, and spends over 40 lakh rupees a year, and yet manages to save only 5 lakh rupees. That is not financial planning. That is financial improvisation on a dangerous tightrope. And yet, the aspirations are soaring. The survey showed that 75% want to fund their children's education and weddings, 40% want to buy a home, another 40% want to start a business, and an equal number dream of early retirement. These are big ticket goals, each needing years of preparation, but most have no structured plan. They are investing in bits and pieces, often based on hearsay or convenience, rarely on goal alignment. So, where is all this money going? Real estate still dominates. Over half of the respondents have more than 20% of their portfolio tied up in property, excluding their primary residence. Now, that is illiquid, inflexible, and often underperforms. On the other hand, only a third of respondents have more than 20% in equities. And while mutual funds and ESOPs appear on their books, the allocation is often skewed, with as much as 45% of equity exposure concentrated in small caps. These portfolios are not designed to weather volatility, nor are they positioned to deliver long term growth across cycles. Emergency planning is another blind spot. 40% of respondents have no emergency fund at all. That is 1 in 7 affluent individuals with no cushion for medical emergencies, job loss, or a market crash. Diversification is also poor. Over 51% want more guidance on how to diversify their portfolios better. These are not passive investors, they are active, engaged, and increasingly anxious. What is missing is someone they can trust to guide them through the noise. And this brings us to the core insight from the survey, a profound crisis of advice. 87% of the respondents take external advice, but a staggering two-thirds of them are dissatisfied. When asked why, 31% cited lack of personalization. Their advisor does not understand their life stage or goals. 17% said that their advisor pushes products to meet commission targets, not client needs. And 14% complained of poor transparency. They don't understand why they are being recommended a particular scheme or a plan. And that confusion often leads to inertia. No action, so no plan, and therefore no progress. The problem is systemic. Most of these investors rely on bank relationship managers, friends, or stockbrokers. Only 32% work with a dedicated wealth advisor or CA. Just 13% manage their own finances. Now that leaves a massive middle ground. People who want help are willing to pay for it but don't know who to trust. And this is where the opportunity lies. 82% of the survey respondents said that professional financial planning would improve their chances of achieving their goals. That is not just a passing opinion, that's a market signal. India's wealth creators are saying loudly and clearly, we need help. And they want it from someone who's personalized, conflict free, and transparent. That someone is what SEBI formally defines as a registered investment advisor, an RIA. And when it comes to research, evaluating companies, analyzing sectors, writing reports, the corresponding designation is the SEBI Research Analyst or RA. These are not just legal licenses, they are badges of trust, regulated frameworks designed to fix the very problems that the survey highlights. For decades, the Indian financial services industry was built around product distribution. Mutual fund agents, insurance salesmen, demat account pushers. They were the face of financial advice for the average Indian. But that model is no longer enough. Today's investors are better informed, more aspirational, and less tolerant of hidden commissions and vague advice. What they want is fiduciary responsibility. They want someone who's legally obligated to put the client's interest first. That is what an RIA does. And when market gets volatile, they want deep, objective equity research to anchor decisions. And that is where an RA comes in. And here's the best part. India does not have nearly enough RIAs or RAs to serve this growing demand. As more HNIs emerge, especially from tier 2 cities and first generation business families, the need for credible, qualified professionals is exploding. We're not talking about hundreds, we're talking about tens of thousands over the next decade. And that is why this is the opportunity of a generation. Unlike many other professions, this one does not require years of education or expensive degrees. All it takes is passing a few structured SEBI mandated exams, the NISM 10th A and 10th B for RIAs and NISM 15th for research analysts, and building the right skills. It is accessible, flexible, and can be pursued alongside your existing job. Once certified, you can build your own advisory practice, work part time with clients, join a larger advisory firm, or even publish independent research. That is what I help people do. Through my YouTube channel, Telegram community, and structured online courses, I train people to become SEBI-registered RIAs and RAs. We offer exam prep, mock tests, career guidance, and post-certification support. But most importantly, we teach you how to become the kind of advisor that the market is crying out for. Someone that clients trust, respect, and stay with for life. Our students range from finance graduates to engineers, from homemakers to career switchers. What unites them is the desire to do meaningful work, to help people make smarter financial decisions, and to build something of their own with purpose and integrity. Because when you guide someone through a major life decision like a home purchase, a retirement plan, a child's education fund, you're not just managing money, you're shaping outcomes. You're creating peace of mind. And in a country like India, where the financial literacy gap is still vast and the stakes are rising, that is a public good. So if you're watching this and wondering how you could do this, the answer is yes. If you are interested in finance, if you care about helping people, and if you're willing to learn, this is a career that can give you freedom, impact, and stability. You can work from anywhere, you can scale at your pace, and you can sleep at night knowing that your incentives are aligned with your client's success. The Massless India Wealth Survey does not just reveal a problem, it lights the path forward. The question is, who will step up to solve it? If you're ready to explore this path, join our Telegram group using the link in the description. Check out the videos on how to become an RA or RA, download the free ebook that explains the career tracks in detail, and when you're ready to take the leap, enroll in one of our weekend batches. We'll help you pass the exam, build confidence, and get started the right way. India's wealth is growing, but without guidance, that wealth will drift, stall, or worse, it'll erode. What the country needs now is not just more advisors, but better ones. If that is who you want to be, let's build the future together.